This is the continuation of stories from Shakespeare, The Tempest. We had seen that Prospero was talking to Miranda and Ferdinand. Then he left them, called his spirit Ariel, who came very fast because Ariel wanted to tell Prospero what he had done with his brother Antonio and the King of Naples. Ariel told that he had left them almost out of their senses because they were full of fear at the strange things which Prospero had caused them to see and hear through Ariel. Ariel had caused the strange things, but he was ordered by Prospero. When they were tired with wandering about and almost starving for want of food, suddenly Ariel set before them a delightful feast. And then, just as they tried to eat, he appeared before them in the shape of a greedy monster with wings, and the whole feast vanished. And then they were more surprised when this Ariel spoke to them, and he told them to remember how cruel they were in driving Prospero out of his kingdom and leaving him with his small daughter to die at the sea. And Ariel said, for all this cause, today they had to face the fearful things. The king of Naples and Prospero's wicked brother Antonio, both of them were filled with sorrow for the injustice they had done to Prospero. And Ariel told his master that they were really feeling sorry, and that Ariel thought that though he was a spirit, he was feeling pity for them. Prospero then tells Ariel to bring them to him, for Prospero felt that if Ariel, being a spirit, could feel sorrow, then why Prospero as a human being should not have pity on them. So he orders Ariel to bring them fast. Ariel very soon returned with the king of Naples, Alonso, Antonio, and old Gonzalo, who had followed him, wondering at the wild music which Ariel was playing in the air to draw them towards their master Prospero. Now Gonzalo was the same old man who had put in the boat books and food when Antonio had left him, as he thought, to die in the open boat. Now Alonso, Antonio, they were so dead in their power of reasoning, in their senses, that they did not recognize Prospero. So Prospero first made himself known to Gonzalo, telling him to be the preserver of his life, and then his brother Antonio and the king understood that he was that same Prospero whom they had tried to kill. Antonio, his brother, is in tears, and the sad words of sorrow and shame which he spoke and begged forgiveness from his brother. And the king of Naples also was very sorry for helping Antonio to throw out his brother. Prospero forgave them, and they promised to give back his dukedom of Milan. He said to the king of Naples, don't you worry, I have something in store for you as a gift. And opening a door, he showed him his son Ferdinand playing chess with Miranda. No joy could have been greater for a father who had thought that his son was drowned in the sea when he saw his son. And Miranda said, "Oh, wonderful! These are noble people. I must surely be seeing a fine world with such type of people in it, because she has never seen people before." The King of Naples was surprised at the beautiful and good qualities of young Miranda, and he asks his son that who was that young girl, for she seemed to be a goddess that had separated them and again brought them together. Ferdinand said, "She is no goddess, sir," for Ferdinand saw that his father had also fallen in the same mistake which he had made regarding Miranda. So he says, "Father, she is only a woman, but by God's grace she is mine. I chose to marry her when I could not even ask you because I thought you were no more alive. She is the daughter of Prospero, the famous Duke of Milan, of whose fame I had heard, but I had never seen him till now. And because of him, I received a new life. And as I am going to marry this lady, he will become my second father." Then the King of Naples, Alonso, says that I must be Miranda's father then. But oh, how strange it will sound that I must ask forgiveness from my own child. Actually, Antonio, rather not Antonio, Alonso, the King of Naples, he wanted to say that he was supposed to ask forgiveness from Miranda for whatever he had done to them 12 years ago. Then Prospero says, "Don't speak all that. Let us not remember the troubles of the past, because now everything is ending happily." Prospero kisses his brother, again gives him forgiveness, and says that a wise overruling God had permitted him to be driven from his poor dukedom of Milan, that his daughter might become the Queen of Naples in future, because they had met on the island, and it so happened that the king's son Ferdinand fell in love with Miranda. When Prospero spoke such kind words to comfort his brother, Antonio was much filled with shame and sorrow, and he kept on weeping, which prevented him from speaking. The kind old Gonzalo also wept to see the union of all hearts joyfully, and prayed that God might shower his blessings upon the couple. Prospero now told them that their ship was safe in the harbor, and all their sailors were on the ship, and that he and his daughter would go home with them the next morning. And in the meantime, he told them to have food, whatever was there in his poor cave, and for the time pass of the evening, he would tell the history of his life from the time he had landed on the island. He then called Caliban, the son of Sycorax, to prepare some food and put the cave in order. And then everybody was astonished to see the strange form and the savage and the wild appearance of the ugly monster Caliban. And Prospero said that he was the servant who did all the work for him. Before Prospero left the island, he let his spirit Ariel free, go free from his service, and this gave the little spirit great joy. For though he had been a faithful servant to his master, he always wanted to enjoy freedom. He wanted to wander without a master in the air like a wild bird, under the green trees, among the pleasant fruits and sweet smelling flowers. Prospero told the little spirit, "My pretty Ariel," when he made him free, he told that I will really miss you, yet I will give you freedom. "Thank you, dear master," said Ariel, "but give me leave to attend your ship home. Let me help you to have favorable winds before you tell me farewell. And then, master, when I have set you sail safely on the ocean, I will enjoy merrily my freedom." Prospero buried his magical books and sticks deep inside the earth, for he decided he would never make use of the magic art. Overcoming his enemies and being united with his brother and the king of Naples, he needed no more happiness, but only wanted to see his native land and become the lord of Milan, his kingdom. And he also wanted to be present at the happy marriage of his daughter Miranda and Prince Ferdinand. And the king said that as soon as they returned to Naples, the marriage would take place. And at Naples, under the safe guidance of the lively spirit Ariel, having a pleasant voyage, everybody arrived and lived a happy life hereafter.